Breaking news into SportsCenter. The NFL will not discipline Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill after concluding an investigation into alleged physical abuse of his ex-fiancée and 3-year-old son. Hill, who pleaded guilty to assault and battery of his ex-fiancée in 2015, has denied these latest allegations despite the release of this audio tape earlier this year.
Why does say Daddy did it? Why? Why does say Daddy did it?
I don't know. He says Daddy does a lot of things.
Like what? A 3-year-old's not going to lie about what happened to his arm. He is terrified of you, and you say that he respects you, but it's not. It's not respect. Me. It's terrified. He is terrified of you.
You need to be terrified of me too. No.
Literally kept saying, Daddy punches me, which you do. When he starts crying, what do? You make him open up his arms and you punch him in the chest. And then if he gets in trouble, you get the belt out.
Tyreek Hill issued a statement on Twitter after the NFL decision today. Here's part of that. The last few months have been very difficult for me, especially as a father. The false allegations originally reported in March were highly publicized and involved the care of my son. I am grateful for so many things and grateful for so many people who have supported enduring this challenging time. I fully respect and accept the NFL's decision. To my children, my beautiful children, I love you all dearly, and I promise you all that I will continue to strive to be the best father, best friend, best role model, and the best mentor that I can be. I love you all. Let's bring in our NFL insider, Adam Schefter, who's been working this story. That audio tape certainly seemed damning at the time, Adam. Some speculated that with his history, Hill's NFL career might be in jeopardy. So what went into the NFL's decision today?
Well, David, let me tell you that if you listen to the full entire 11-minute audio and not just the clips that were chopped up, the NFL believed that there was different context to this and that you would draw a different conclusion. And the NFL conducted its own investigation. This is a business that the league has gotten itself into over recent years and determined that it could not find evidence that Tyreek Hill actually assaulted his son as he was accused of doing. Now, again, you saw Tyreek Hill's statement there where he says that there were, quote unquote, false allegations. Those are the words. So he is clearly denying that he took part in the role of his assaulting his son. Now, look, this has been going on for weeks now, and I can tell you that behind closed doors, that the league felt like it could never find evidence that he was a part of this, despite the fact that that audio sounds so horrible and seems to implicate him. The league never could substantiate it, and upon listening to the rest of that 11-minute audio, the league reached the conclusion that Tyreek Hill did not do that to his son. And the league left open the case that if additional evidence does surface, that it could go discipline him at that point in time. But ask yourself this, David. Look, the league has come down hard on a lot of different players for a lot of different reasons. And in this particular case, that looked on the surface as disturbing as any, the league decided not to issue discipline. So what the league found, what it came across, clearly must have been persuasive enough for the league not to hand out any discipline here to Tyreek Hill.
The NFL did issue a statement. It did say their understanding is that the child is safe, which is the most important part of all of this. The Chiefs, Adam, had suspended Hill back in April. Will he be there for the start of training camp if the team sort of proceeds like nothing happened?
David, right now, it's all systems go for Tyreek Hill in terms of the football element of this story. And look, I think that this was the conclusion that the Chiefs had been expecting in recent weeks. There had been talk in league circles very quietly behind closed doors that this would be the way that the NFL's investigation would turn out. I think the Chiefs believed in Tyreek Hill. They supported Tyreek Hill. And yes, they will welcome back Tyreek Hill, who, when he does play, is as effective as any wide receiver in the game. So he comes back, and unless there is additional evidence that surfaces in connection to the assault of his son, Tyreek Hill will be at camp. He will go through practice. He will go through the preseason, and he will be there on opening day as the Chiefs try to take care of unfinished business.
Chiefs report to camp a week from today. Remember, the team took wide receiver McCole Hardman in the second round, in part for insurance with Hill's future up in the air. Adam Schefter reporting on the breaking news that the NFL will not discipline Tyreek Hill under the personal conduct policy. This incident goes back to this past March when police were called to the Hills home for an alleged battery against a juvenile. Since then, audio has been released, as we showed you, of Hill and his fiancée or ex-fiancée discussing injuries suffered by their son. It was supposedly a broken arm. And after being banned from all activities with the Chiefs and meeting with the NFL, now we have learned that Hill will not be suspended. And so it appears he will be back on the field for the Kansas City Chiefs. A little later, we'll show you what that means for them as they look to build on Patrick Mahomes' success last year. More on the Tyreek Hill situation and on Patrick Mahomes coming up.
All right, so the Big Ten rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State is nothing new. Jim Harbaugh losing as head coach at Michigan to Meyer is also nothing new, but Harbaugh's comments about Urban Meyer's tenure in Columbus marked a bit of a departure, saying on the Athletics TK podcast that while success has followed Meyer, so has controversy. New on SportsCenter, he was asked about it.
No context you should know about that. I don't think it was anything that was anything new or anything of a bombshell. It's things that many of you all have understand and have written about. Win the Big Ten championship, qualify for the playoffs, win the national championship. Those are our goals. I think it's good right now. I think it's good. I think it's tight. But like an anaconda, you want to just keep squeezing it tighter and make it better. And that's where our football team is.
All right, like an anaconda. Meanwhile, from where we welcome in our Paul Feinbaum, what is your reaction, Paul, to what you heard Jim say about Urban Meyer?
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't bring the hat. Carrie, this is Jim Harbaugh being Jim Harbaugh. I know that sounds so cliche, but he just likes to stir it up, and I think he likes taking shots at Urban Meyer. And by the way, there's nothing he really said that was incorrect. The fact that he said it, and Ohio State now has Ryan Day as the coach, is what's perplexing. But with Jim Harbaugh, there's no rhyme or reason to pretty much anything he ever says or does.
All right, so Harbaugh 0-4, as we know, against Michigan. How important is it for him this season to actually beat Ohio State?
Based on conversations with people at Michigan, I don't think his job is on the line as long as he has a reasonably good season. But if he can't beat Ryan Day in Ann Arbor during his first season, I think fans and alumni will ask the question, Kerry, is he ever going to? And then I think as you move forward, the pressure will build. If he has a terrible season, I think that's another story. But I fully expect Michigan to win the Big Ten and to beat Ohio State, if that means anything.
Okay, well, no, it does mean something, so that means that his job isn't at stake. Meanwhile, thank you so much, Paul, for joining us. Wolverines with a 48% chance to win the Big Ten, according to Paul Feinbaum, as well as our Football Power Index.
Thanks,
appreciate you being here on Coast to Coast.
I got an update for you, Kerry. Tiger Woods cleaned it up a bit today in the second round of the Open Championship. Shot a one under 70, but you add that to his opening round 78, and he's 6 over, so it's almost certain he will not make the cut at Royal Portrush. The cut expected to be or projected to be 1 over. Here's Tiger after his round.
It's more frustrating than anything else because this is a major championship, and I love playing in these events, and I love the atmosphere. I love the stress of playing a major. Well, I'm going to take a couple weeks off and get ready for the playoffs. We got the playoffs coming up, and anything can happen. I mean, last year I almost stole the whole FedEx Cup.
Did you know Tiger and Phil have played in the same major 83 times? Phil Mickelson is still on the course, but he's 9 over par. So this would be the first time they both missed the cut in a major. A staggering statistic right there, but neither guy has played close to championship golf right now. The leader, it continues to be the Irishman Shane Lowry at 9 under. He's still out on the course. J.B. Holmes, the American, in the clubhouse at 8 under par. A couple of Brits, Fleetwood and Westwood, right behind them. Brooks Koepka is at 5 under, along with Jordan Spieth. But again, Shane Lowry, the leader. Tiger and Phil expected to miss the cut.
Staggering stat, David. Thanks for that. Coming up, Saquon Barkley made a huge impact in the NFL during his rookie year. A new conversation, why he already knows that was just the beginning.
We got to step up. We got to step to the occasion.
All right, so plus 50 years ago, just after Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin made the giant leap, a pitcher on Earth took a small step into the history books. Why the real moonshot may have been at Candlestick Park. Coming up on Coast to Coast with David Lloyd and Carrie Champion.